Welcome back to How to Save Like a Mennonite, and I'm Rachel the Mennonite Miser. And today I'll be your Mennonite Miser advisor on all things to do with baby stuff. So as you know, if you've started having children, they are your number one expense and will be that way for the rest of your life. So it's really good to start saving money even before you start having children because even though they're wonderful little expenses, they are very expensive. So let's just start right at the beginning. If you're just having your first child, and you're just pregnant right now, the best thing to do is the thrift shops, garage sales, and yard sales because you can get brand new clothes that are hardly worn for honestly 1/100th of the cost, even name brands. So I know that's a hard sell if you're having your first child, but something that might help if you pick out some really nice clothes that you want to spend a lot of money on brand new. A few items like the receiving blanket or the first outfit or the christening outfit, things that will be really, that you'll cherish forever. And that may help, to help you to be able to go ahead and get the used clothes. Um, Diapers. Diapers are very expensive and they will be expensive for a very long time. It's a sea of diapers from, for several years. So cloth diapers do save money, and these aren't the cloth diapers like our parents had to use, bless their hearts. If they try to close that little pin up and you might pick the baby and you're just afraid to use it. We have brand new cloth diapers that have, you know, um, different types of fasteners and Velcro and things of that nature, and they're still cloth. And these are very easy to clean. You just get a bucket of water with borax, and throughout the days, you just put the diapers in there until you're ready to do your wash. And then you just wash them. They're wonderful, and this will save you so much money. And not only that, but they won't clog up the landfills. Apparently, these are like phone books. They never degrade ever in the landfills. So other things, cribs and bassinets. So you'll definitely need these things for the baby to sleep in. Now, some people, they sleep with the babies right in the bed with them, and it depends on your culture, it depends on your pediatrician. We had doctors and nurses tell us different things from day one, even before the birth. So, depending on where you live and your culture and your doctor, check in on that because some people, they don't buy cribs. Some people do a variety of different things. So we did buy a crib. We didn't buy it. We bought the mattress because a friend of mine gave me her crib, her old crib, and then we painted it with a special VO2 free paint so there would be no toxic fumes. And that way we didn't have to spend a tremendous amount on, something that would be similar to a green crib, basically. We're really glad we didn't spend a lot on the crib because we didn't use it very often. We had a little bassinet that we had next to the bed. And that way if the baby was hungry or he had some sort of need, we could bring him in with us and then put him back. And that way we weren't exhausted all day. So that really helped. You can even make little bassinets. I don't recommend making one that you would leave the child in because the ones that you buy are made for a specific, purpose and a design. We made one out of a laundry basket and it was beautiful. It had like a quilted inside, and my aunt, she's very handy with this type of thing and made us a beautiful bassinet. But that was the one that we used to take him around with us to different rooms. We wouldn't have left him unattended in that one. And she definitely wouldn't have wanted us to either. So things like playpens and walkers. The playpen, you have to feel these out with your own kids, see how much they're going to use it or not, and that's why I recommend buying these things used. The playpen was a no-go. We noticed that, the child was a roamer, and we just thought he might like the playpen. Boy, were we wrong. There was no go for that. So we're glad we didn't buy that new. That would have been a tremendous waste. We were able to just repurpose that one right out the door. Same thing with the walker. A walker is usually a very expensive thing, and they don't use that very much. And before you know it, they're walking, and then there's $40 down the drain. If you get a walker, get one that's used, and then you can give it to somebody else who may be needing it. Things like strollers and baby joggers. I learned really quickly that strollers are next to useless. You can't do anything with them except for just stroll up and down the street a few times, and then they hurt, and they're just not ergonomically correct or anything. So we got the baby jogger, and we got it from a friend that had one because her baby had outgrown it. This was amazing. This was one of the most wonderful things that we got. We could take the baby with us hiking for hours. We 4-hour hike, and he's fine because it puts them to sleep. The rocking motion, they just love that. And some of them have a sunscreen that comes down over the front to keep the baby shielded, and some have the back that goes down so that when they're sleeping, you can have it down, and then when he wants to come up to look, then it's on an angle. So check the baby joggers, especially helpful if you like to go on walks and just to get out of the house and get mobile. Also, mobility with babies, slings, baby slings. We never had any luck with these things. The baby slings, he never felt secure in there. We could never get it tight enough. And we tried, the front, the side, we tried different brands. Please post if you have a brand that you like of the baby sling, because a lot of people really like these. What we did find was so awesome was the baby backpack. It is a backpack essentially, and you put the child in behind you and you can tighten it up so he's very secure in there. And wow, you're completely mobile, and it was one of the greatest things we had. And you may get your hair pulled a few times, and your glasses may get flung off a time or two, but it's so worth it because he's safe, you're mobile, and life is good. Things like, let's just talk about feeding the baby. This is really important too. Clearly, I am pro breastfeeding. They've done studies on, women. Does it cost more for them not to work and breastfeed or to work and pay for formula? Because formula is so expensive. And they said that breastfeeding, you lose money when you breastfeed. However, this was very biased because you can pump, and I won't go into all the details of that, but if you're working mother, you can rent the machine. You don't have to buy it. Buying the machine would be very expensive, but they have these wonderful programs where you can rent them. I'll try to post these for you because that way you can give your child your own milk, which is the most nutritious. It's the most important thing you can do food-wise for your baby is breastfeeding, especially that first milk that you have. And some women do not make enough. I knew a woman who didn't make enough. And I've known more than one actually. And if that's you, then you have to make the decision on how you're going to supplement. And you have to look at all the contents in the formula nowadays. There could even be GMOs or I don't even know what. But if you're not making enough, don't feel guilty. My one friend was just beating herself up. Don't feel guilty because, it just happens sometimes. But just be very careful and try to, breastfeed as much as you possibly can and supplement with a very nutritious, healthy supplement. So anyway, I hope these things are helpful, and please do post your own if you've got stories of how you saved money with your newborn and your babies. And we'll also cover toddlers, and we'll cover preteens and teenagers and so forth, because their needs changed and their costs definitely change. So anyway, post your own ideas on how to save money raising the young ones, and hopefully we'll help people to save money with their children.